Your baby has been waiting for you to do one thing. Not since last week, not since they started crawling, since the very first moment they opened their eyes and found your face in the room. And here is what nobody tells you. Researchers who have spent careers studying infant development found that most parents never do this thing. Not because they do not love their baby, because nobody told them it existed. In the next few minutes, that is going to change. But before we get there is something you need to know right now. Something you are probably doing today, in the next hour, maybe in the next few minutes, that is making your baby wait longer. And the frustrating part is that you are doing it because you think it is the right thing. It's not. And there's one more thing. The last thing on this list, the smallest, the simplest, the one that costs nothing, is the one your baby has needed from you since the day they were born. And most parents never do it even once.
Most parents are certain they know what builds the bond. You show up, you feed them, you respond the moment they cry. You hold them through every fuss, every meltdown, every 3 a.m. moment when the whole house is dark and it is just the two of you. You are present constantly, reliably, and you assume that presence, that consistency, is what your baby's brain is measuring. It is not. A landmark study from the University of Cambridge found something that stopped the field cold. The baby's brain was not counting hours. It was not logging responses. It was searching for one specific type of moment over and over from the very first weeks of life. And most parents miss it every single day without ever knowing it was there.
Look at your baby when they aren't asking you to. Not when they cry, not when they reach up, not when they fuss or call or need something. In the quiet, in the calm, in the middle of an unremarkable moment when everything is fine and nobody needs anything from anyone. Turn toward them and look. Because here is what the Cambridge researchers found. When a parent makes eye contact during a calm, unprompted moment, not in response to a demand, not as part of caregiving, not because the baby asked, the baby's brain registers something it cannot register any other way. Neural pathways tied to felt safety activate. The nervous system receives a signal it has been searching for since birth. Not someone comes when I call, but someone thinks about me when I am silent. That is a completely different message, and your baby's brain has been waiting to receive it since the first hour they were born. Most parents look at their baby when their baby asks. Your baby has been waiting for you to look first. And if that one felt almost too simple, what comes next is the thing almost every parent gets completely backwards. And the harder you try, the more likely you are getting it wrong right now.
Stop responding to every sound your baby makes. Read that again. Every instinct you have just pushed back. You hear a sound, you respond. That is what attentive parents do. That is love. That is presence. Except when it is not. Harvard's Center on the Developing Child found that babies who receive an immediate automatic response to every single sound they produce, regardless of what that sound actually means, develop one thing more slowly than other babies. Not language, not motor skills, self-regulation. The ability to sit inside a feeling for 2 seconds without it becoming a crisis. The ability to exist in a moment of discomfort without needing immediate rescue. Your baby makes sounds that mean I need you right now. And your baby makes sounds that mean I am figuring something out and I am okay. When you respond to both sounds the same way, instantly, automatically, your baby never discovers that the second feeling is survivable, that discomfort does not always require rescue, that they have any capacity at all to exist in a moment without you rushing in to fill it. The pause, 2 to 3 seconds before you respond, is not neglect. It is the gap where your baby finds out they are capable. Most parents spend years wondering why their child cannot self-soothe. The answer is almost always that nobody ever gave them the space to find out they could. Now, before we get to what most parents call the hardest thing on this list, there is something researchers discovered about the way you are physically with your baby. Something quiet, something that happens every single night, and it is working against everything you're trying to build without you knowing it.
Put them down before they fall asleep. Not when they're awake, not mid-play. In that specific window, drowsy, heavy, eyes half closing, the full weight of them going soft in your arms, that particular kind of trust that only exists in those few seconds before sleep takes them. That exact moment. Most parents hold tightest right there, and nobody blames them. That warmth, that weight, that feeling of being completely needed by something so small, it is one of the most profound experiences a human being can have. But here is what's happening inside that small brain at that exact moment. Sleep onset, the crossing from wakefulness into sleep, is one of the most neurologically significant events of early development. This is when the brain practices moving through states on its own, managing the shift from high arousal to low without external help, building the circuitry for self-regulation that will show up years later in ways that have nothing to do with sleep. People placed drowsy but awake develop measurably more stable sleep architecture than babies always carried to full sleep first. Put them down in the almost asleep. Stay close. Let them feel you near, but let them make the crossing. That small moment is not abandonment. It is the first time their brain discovers it is capable of something hard. And that discovery, researchers found, shows up years later in how they handle difficulty when you're not watching, in how much they trust themselves when you're not in the room. Wait, I know this is a lot to take in right now, but what comes next? This is the part no parenting video talks about, and it is so simple that when you hear it, you will wonder how it could possibly matter this much. It does.
Talk to your baby like they already understand you. Not baby talk. Not the simplified, high-pitched loop most parents fall into within the first week of bringing a baby home. Talk to them the way you would talk to someone you respect, someone you are thinking out loud with, someone whose presence in the room changes what you say. A 4-month-old cannot understand the words. Everyone knows that. Except Stanford's Language and Cognition Lab found something more complicated than that. Babies whose parents used rich, varied, complex language, full sentences, real words, genuine conversational tone, showed dramatically accelerated development in the brain's language processing regions. Not compared to babies with simplified speech occasionally, compared to babies who primarily heard baby talk. The brain does not wait until it understands words to start building the architecture for understanding words. It builds that architecture from exposure, from rhythm, from the sound of real language landing on it before it knows what any of it means. Your baby has been listening to you since before they were born. They have been cataloging your voice, your patterns, your emotional tone, the specific music of how you speak. They know more about how you talk than you realize. Tell them what you are cooking. Tell them why you are tired. Describe the light coming through the window right now. Narrate what you are doing while you fold laundry next to them on the bed. You are not talking to yourself. You are building a mind, and every real sentence is a piece of architecture they will use for the rest of their life. But the last thing, the one I have been holding back since the beginning of this video, is different from everything else on this list. The others take practice. The others take adjustment. This one takes nothing except a decision, and your baby has been waiting for you to make it since the day they were born. Stop waiting for a reason to hold them. Not because they're crying, not because they need feeding or changing or moving to the next part of the schedule, not because something is wrong. Pick them up in the middle of ordinary, when everything is fine, when nothing is wrong, when there is no reason except that they exist and you want them close. In the unremarkable middle of a Tuesday when nothing is happening and nobody needs anything. Just pick them up. Here is what most parents do not know. A baby who is held only when something is wrong begins to build an association between your arms and distress, between being picked up and the world being off. Their nervous system slowly learns to read your closeness as a signal that something needs fixing, that something is wrong, that the world requires rescue. But a baby who is held in the middle of nothing, in the calm, in the quiet, in the completely ordinary, builds a completely different map. Your arms become the place where everything is already fine. Researchers studying early attachment at the University of Minnesota found that unprompted physical contact, holding initiated by the parent with no caregiving goal, no reason, no need being met, was one of the strongest predictors of secure attachment measured at 12 months. Not feeding, not responding to cries, holding for no reason. Your baby has been waiting for you to pick them up when they did not ask, when they did not cry for it, when they had no way to signal that they needed it and no language to ask. They cannot ask for this one. Only you can decide to give it. So put down whatever you are holding right now that is not them. Pick them up for nothing. That is the thing they have been waiting for since the very first moment they opened their eyes and found your face, their whole life.
If this changed the way you see the ordinary moments, leave a comment below. Just one word. Tell me which one hit you, because every single thing on this list is something you can do today. Not tomorrow, not when things slow down, not when life gets easier. Today. And if you want to understand why your baby locks onto your face without blinking, why they go completely still, why they will not look away, why that gaze feels like something larger than just looking? That is the next video. The science behind it is more intimate than anything you have ever heard before.